everybody. My name is Sara, and this is a Gentle Yin class. So for class today, you need a mat, a block if you have it, or a book, and a blanket or a towel. And anything else that you might want to use, a bolster, pillows, anything extra, but not really necessary. So we're going to start today in a modified hero pose. So that's where what I've done is I've stacked a block and a blanket. You should feel, once you get down here, kind of a nice stretch in your thighs. If this is too much, stack it higher. If you don't feel anything, then go lower. You can go all the way to the floor. This really bothers your knees and you're not getting comfortable, then feel free to just move into any comfortable seat. You don't have to do the poses that I recommend. You need to pay attention to your body, right? So once you get settled in your seated position, the other thing to say about this is if it bothers the tops of your feet, grab another towel or blanket to put underneath your feet to soften that a little bit and just raise them up. It's a big stretch across the front of the feet. So once you get settled, take a moment to check in with your body, scan your body, maybe closing your eyes, and take a really deep inhale through the nose, and a nice big exhale, letting all the air out. And do that again, big deep inhale, and a long exhale. Beginning to settle into this moment, becoming aware of your breath, maybe for the first time today. Bring a hand to your heart and just notice your heartbeat in there. If you can't feel it, you can at least be aware and know that your heart is beating and working hard for you. And as you hold your hand here, maybe just notice that your heart rate starts to slow down a little bit. As we ease into our practice, you're starting to let go of stress, letting go of the outside world, and staying present in this moment right now. This moment, and this moment, and this moment is all we have. Beautiful. As you continue settling in, let me talk a little bit about summer solstice. So summer solstice will be this Saturday, and by the time you watch this, I think it will have already passed. But just as a reminder, summer solstice literally means sun stopping in Latin. Solstice, the sun stops. And it's our longest day of the year and the shortest night. So the sun will literally stand still for a moment in time before it reverses its direction. And I think of summer solstice a little bit like New Year's Eve. It's a good time to stop and reflect. We've come halfway through the year, hard to believe. And maybe just take stock of where you are right now and where the world is right now. What do you want to nurture and develop in yourself in the coming months? And what would you like to encourage? And what no longer serves you? So I invite you to think of those heavy questions for just a moment. Take another deep, deep inhale here. And on the exhale, let it all go. Keep exhaling, letting it out, let it go. Beautiful. And then release your hand. You can open your eyes here. I'm going to reach back and just hold onto your ankles. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. Lift your heart and your chin up to the sky. Tiny little back bend here, just leaning back a little bit. Don't fall back behind you. And then come forward. And we're going to do that again. Big inhale, lift your shoulders up and pull them down your back. Lift your heart, lift your chin to the sky. Lean back and come forward. This is a tiny little movement. And again, one more time. Inhale, shoulders up and back. Lift your heart and chin to the sky. And exhale, come forward. Beautiful. And then we're going to do a little side-to-side movement here. So you can take your right hand out to the side. If your fingertips don't touch, just pretend like you're grabbing onto something. And then just inhale the left arm up over your left ear. Big opening in that left side. Reach over. Release that down. Same thing with the opposite hand. So left hand comes out. Reach the right arm over. Breathe into that side. Back to center. And we're just going to move back and forth a few times here. Opening the side body. Beautiful. Two more. Nice. And release that down. Come back to center. Roll your shoulders a couple of times. And then work your way up onto your hands and knees in tabletop. And then walk your hands out even further than your shoulders and drop your hips down here. Release everything. Breathe. And then just take your hips over to one side and the other. Rotating them left and right a couple of times. And work your way back up. Then we're going to move these props out of the way and come into a seated position on the blanket. So taking that blanket, or if you have a towel, folding it up sort of like this, and then coming right on the edge of that blanket or towel. So take your time. Feet out in front. And remember that you want to position yourself right on the edge so that you're allowing that to help roll your pelvis forward, an anterior tilt. And then take a look at your feet, your legs, and bring them about a foot apart, more or less. So out in front of you, not in real close. We're going to work on the hips. This is called sort of like a modified star pose in yin. Sometimes we do butterfly where the feet are together. I'm going to separate them a little bit here. Then starting with the left hand, you're just going to see if you can bring your forearm down to the floor and let your left ear come a little bit closer to your left shoulder. Just kind of hang out here. We're sort of working on that left hip. We're just bringing our body weight into that left side without totally tumbling over here. And just notice how it feels. If your forearm doesn't go all the way down, don't worry about it. Just explore a little bit. You can actually press your elbow into your leg a little bit. And breathe. Let your head relax and your face relax. And then release that and come to the other side, bringing that right forearm down. Each side's going to feel a little different, so you might go a little further on one side compared to the other. And then again, just let your head hang to the right here, maybe pressing against your leg. Noticing where you feel this in your body. Beautiful. Slowly release that. Come back up. Tall spine. Bring your hands out by your hips, or sort of out to the side. And then we're going to take the left hand and press against the left knee. Just kind of a gentle little pressure. I'm going to hold myself up with my right hand, your opposite knee, of course. And then just kind of gently press that leg away. Just starting to open up the hips. Maybe you feel this in the low back. Everybody's different. And breathe. And then release that and come to the other side. So support yourself, just a gentle little pressure on the inside of that knee. And release and come up. And now we're going to come into our true yin pose where we hold it for a while. So you're going to take your hands with the palms facing up. Wiggle your fingers a bit. And then take your hands and tuck them underneath your legs. You're going to start to walk your hands out. Keep your head up at first and walk as far as you can. When you feel like you can't go any further, allow your upper torso, your cervical and thoracic spine to just round and relax. Relax your face and your jaw. Let everything just hang and float forward. Staying in this moment with your breath. Take a big deep inhale here. And on the exhale, see if your body will go just a little bit deeper. Maybe just a fraction of an inch. And notice where you felt this in your body. Breathe into it. And then let it go. Relax your face, your jaw. Stay with your breath. Relax your shoulders and your face just a little bit more. Nothing to hold on to. And slowly begin to shake your head yes and no. Just a gentle little movement back and forth. And then see if you can tuck your chin to your chest a little more, rounding in. And then slowly release that. Without moving anything else in your body, start to lift your chin just a little bit. Don't crank it up there, but just kind of lifting up so that you're looking forward. And then begin to wiggle your fingers. And slowly begin to unwind here, letting your hands slowly time, and then bending your knees, bringing the soles of the feet onto the floor. Support yourself with your hands, and then let your knees just both float over to one side. Let that hip come up in the air. And release that and float to the other side. Let them relax there. And then just a little wiggle back and forth a few times. Little windshield wiper action. All right, we're going to stay seated on the blanket here. You're going to take the left leg out in front. Bring the right foot up into your groin area. So it's normal to have this knee up in the air the one that's bent. If you'd like to put a prop underneath there, a book, pillow, a block, a blanket, something like that, that's a little too high. If it's not very high, you want to keep it low, so you don't want to crank it up in the air. It's up to you. Keep your left foot flexed, and then bring your hands on either side of your left leg and pull your spine up tall, flex your foot, and then start to bring your forehead towards your toes, and then back off and come up. We're going to do this 5 times. And again, forehead towards the toes, and come back up. What was that, 2? And 3, so just move at your pace. Just kind of getting used to this movement here and noticing where you feel it. Don't go too far. This should not feel painful. I think that was 4 for me. I don't know, 5. I probably shouldn't try to count when I do this. Nice. And then pause here. And now we're going to start to walk forward and find that edge again that you were feeling as you were counting, coming forward, keeping your head up. And then when you feel like you can't go any further, relax your upper body and just let it all float forward. Relaxing your shoulders. You can do a little movement here. And let it go. Take your jaw and move it around a little bit. Take a big inhale through the nose. And then when you exhale, let your lips flutter. And come back to your breath. Relax the back of your leg a little bit more. Relax the knee of the leg that's bent. Let everything feel heavy. Take another big deep inhale. And on the exhale, see if your body will sink a little bit deeper. And then relax everything again. Stay with your breath. Beautiful. From here, we're going to keep the torso down, but start to take your left hand to the inside of your left leg. And slowly start to open your heart and your chest to the sky, letting that right arm kind of just float over your right ear, maybe bending your elbow, and you can just let your forearm kind of swing here. So opening your heart up to the sky here as much as feels comfortable to you. Of course, you should feel something. So comfortable is a relative term here. And breathe. See if you can relax your left ear to your left shoulder a little more. Relax your right arm, so you're just letting it hang. You should feel a big opening in your right side. Beautiful. Begin to just make some circles with your right wrist. Still hanging to the left, just circling that right wrist around, and then switch direction. And then slowly, slowly start to work your way up to a seated position, taking your time, coming all the way up. Pause here at the top. Support yourself with your hands. Pull your shoulder blades back. Lift your heart and chest to the sky. Your chin to the sky, opening up. Come back to center. Release that right leg out long and just kind of shake it out. And then bend the right knee. Take it out to the side. And let the right knee come into the center, a little counter to what we just did. You can even do a little bounce here, gentle with it. Beautiful. Let it come back to center. Bring that leg back in again. We're going to do one more pose here. So make sure you're sitting on the very edge of the blanket, foot into the groin area. Bring your left hand to your right knee. Inhale the right arm up and slowly, take a big inhale here. And then on the exhale, begin to twist to look to the right. And you can just kind of press your knee down, supporting yourself with your right hand, turning and looking over your right shoulder. Breathe. Beautiful. And then slowly working your way back to center. And again, letting the right leg come out long. Shake it out. All right, we're going to take a little break before we do the other side. We're going to come into a wide-kneed child's pose. So you can just leave that blanket where it is. Bring your feet up on top of it. Take your knees wide. Sink your hips down. And then let your torso come forward. You could put a block here under your head. Just think about lengthening your spine. So wherever you are, think about bringing your tailbone down towards your feet. Your hips towards your feet. Letting your chest sink. You could relax your cheek on the mat or forehead or the opposite cheek. Lengthening your spine, so breathing from the tailbone up through the crown of the head and then relaxing everything. Beautiful. Take a moment here to tense your fingers out in front of you. Maybe lifting your arms up off of the mat, off of the floor. And then slowly walk yourself back up. Coming all the way back up again. And we'll do the opposite side. So this time taking that right leg out straight. Shake it out a little bit. Bring the left leg into the groin area and sit right on the edge of that blanket or towel. And take your time to get settled here. If you want to put a prop over here, see my left knee is coming way up in the air because my left hip is always tight. We all have our side differences, right? So bring your toes towards your chin, and we're going to start that movement here where we come forward with a flat back, keeping your head up, just walking your hands out, and then working your way back up. I'm not going to try to count, but do about 5 of these coming forward so you can feel the edge on this side. Breathing with your movements. Beautiful. All right, if you've done your 5, we're going to work our way down to a holding pattern here. So take your time to come with a flat back, finding that edge, going as far as you can. When you feel like you've hit that point where you won't go any further, allow your upper body to round and relax. Feeling heavy in the torso and just letting go. Staying with this moment, paying attention to your breath. Not judging this side of your body if it was easier or if it's more difficult. Just letting it go, let everything feel heavy and relaxed. Relax your face and your jaw a little bit more. Take a deep, deep inhale. And on the exhale, see if your body will go a little bit deeper. And then find your breath again. Beautiful. Begin to wiggle your fingers. Don't lift your torso up yet. Just start to walk that or lift the right hand up and bring it to the inside of your leg. And then slowly start to open your heart, your chest to the sky until you can bring your left arm over your left ear and just let it hang. Opening that left side, the left hip. And if you want to, you can find a little swing here. Relax into this as much as possible. If you've gone too deep, back off a little bit. If you're not feeling anything, lean a little bit more to the right. Open your left arm up to the sky a little bit more. Stay with your breath. Stay in this moment. And then very slowly start to roll your left wrist around, making some intentional circles here. Go in both directions. And then very slowly, moving in slow motion, start to lift up, taking your time, coming all the way up again to a seated position. Just pause here for a moment. And then take that left leg, bend the knee, bring the sole of the foot onto the floor, kind of taking it out to the side. Support yourself with your hands. You're going to counterpose by bringing the right knee into the center. Take your time. And again, you can do a little bounce here or just let it settle. It may not go all the way to the floor, and that's okay. Do what's right for you always. All right, and then kind of take it out to the other side and just move back and forth a few times. And then let that leg come out long. Just kind of shake out both of your legs. And then bend the left knee again, bringing it into your groin area. We're going to do a little twist here. So you're going to start the twist by bringing that right hand to the left knee. Inhale, I'm doing this opposite. Inhale the left arm up and bring it behind you. Then inhale, and on exhale, start to twist to the left, bringing the right hand to the left knee, your opposite knee. And slowly start to turn, taking your time, finding your edge. And slowly begin to release that, coming back to center. Unwind, take that left leg out long again, kind of shake it out. Take your feet and roll them over to the right, as far as you can, they'll go. And then roll them over to the left, as far as they'll go. And then just start to windshield wiper your legs back and forth. Your knees should be following your feet, and your hips are following, everything's moving, because it's all connected, right? All right, now we're going to move into a puppy pose, similar to that child's pose that we did, but this is more of a shoulder stretch. So I'm just going to leave my blanket, there it is, feet on top of the blanket. And then you can also, let's keep the knees and the hips aligned here. Take your hands way out in front of you, and then let your chest come to the floor while you keep your elbows lifted. So you should have a nice stretch across the shoulders here. If your head doesn't come to the floor, you can grab a book, a block, put it here. Just explore a little bit. You can do a little swing here if you like. Come back to your breath again. Be aware of your shoulders and hips here. Scan them. And breathe both into your shoulders and your hips. Very slowly start to release that. We're not going to stay there too long. Just work your way all the way up onto your knees here. Let's do a big inhale up. Reach up. Exhale down. And then just swing your arms by your side. Let them be heavy and relaxed. All right, we're going to move into frog pose using a block and a blanket or a towel. If you don't have a block, a book will work. So like we did in the beginning of class, I'm going to stack and fold here. So I'm stacking my block with the blanket on it. And then I'm going to get down. So this is where the feet are going to go. So I'm going to turn around here and come onto my belly. Bring my feet up there. And then I'm separating my knees. It's hard to talk on your belly. So you're trying to separate this is a hip opener. Very gentle, of course. So you're trying to get your feet, the soles of your feet together. If they don't come together and they separate a bit, that's perfectly fine. So you have to figure out where your knees need to be. You can scoot your hips back, and it's a little more intense, or you can bring your hips forward so that there's less of a bend in the knees. So just experiment with that and find what feels right to you. We're going to be here for a few breaths. So take your time. Now if you're lucky enough to have a sandbag at home, this would be a perfect place to put it right on your lower back, or any type of weight. If you have a partner in the house who could do this, you could put an extra blanket back there, a pillow, a bolster, anything that's going to give a little extra weight to help open up this low back area here very gently. So I like to bring my hands to cactus arms. You can also bring them down by your side. You can stretch them out in front, whatever would feel nice to you. Once you get settled, come back to your breath. Notice how your back rises and falls in this position as you press your belly against the floor when you breathe. Connecting the front of your body with the earth. Stay with your breath. Very gently pick up your head and roll it to the opposite side so we won't get stiff in the neck. And just bring the opposite cheek to the mat and then relax everything again. Beautiful. If you have your arms in cactus arms, start to gently wiggle your fingers And then pull your arms down by your side with your palms facing up. And relax your shoulders a little bit more. And then slowly start to bend your legs, bringing your knees back to about hip distance apart, feet are in the air. And then let your feet gently roll from side to side, or just rock from side to side, getting a little release in the low back. And then bring one leg at a time towards the floor, and then the other leg kind of like a little bicycle here, just movement back and forth. And then circle your ankles, both directions. Nice. All right, from here we're just going to roll over into the spine. So take your time rolling yourself over. Coming onto your back. I'm just going to move my props out of the way here and take a big stretch. Connect the back of your body with the earth. Stretch out long. And then bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet together. This is the opposite of what we just did just on our back body. And just let your knees fall out to the side. And then again, bring your arms to cactus arms. Relax here for a moment. Breathe into the front of your body. Nice deep inhales here and long exhales. And then gently take your head, your neck, and start to roll it left and right. Very slow, gentle rolls from side to side. Just noticing if you have any tension in your neck, letting it go. And then working your way back to center, pausing here. Take your hands, your arms, and slowly start to lift your arms behind you until maybe you can let your fingertips touch behind your head. And then slowly start to take your feet out away from you, keeping the soles of the feet together. Maybe not all the way, just about a foot or so, and then relax your knees again and relax your shoulders and your arms. So you're kind of making a diamond shape with your legs and your hands. And then relax everything again and notice how this feels. Relax any tension you may have created in your hips or your shoulders or your low back. Beautiful. And then slowly start to release that, bringing your arms down by your side. Bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. And then one at a time, bring a knee into your chest, pulling them in tight, holding onto your knees. Lift your forehead towards your chin, rolling up into a ball. And release that, bring your head back down. Let your feet come back down to the mat, and then rock them back and forth, a little windshield wiper action. Again, bring your knees up into your chest. We're going to find a happy baby here. So bring your hands to the inside of your legs, maybe holding onto your ankles, the bottom of your feet. And then maybe pressing your knees out to the outside of your shoulders. You could do a little rock here. Any movement that would feel nice to your body at this point in time. If you want to move into plow, Or maybe you feel like you want to do one half a happy baby at a time. That's a really nice opening on the hip. If you have one hip that feels like it's a little out of balance, take time to do that. Or if there's something that I haven't named that you really want to do, go for it. And from wherever you are, very slowly, start to work your way out of that position. Bringing your legs back down onto the mat, taking them out long again, and then taking a big stretch. And begin to work your way into your final Shavasana position by bringing the left leg to the left corner of the mat, the right leg to the right corner of the mat, and kind of tuck your shoulders under your body. Let your palms come face up. And then beginning with your toes, scan your body. Allow everything to feel relaxed and heavy. Be aware of your breath here and see if you can slow it down even more. Relaxing everything, letting it go. Staying present in this moment, and this moment, and this moment. Take a deep inhale here. Hold your breath when you get to the top and let out a big sigh. And then slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Just finding a little bit of movement in your body. Coming back into this space and time. And then when you're ready, take a big stretch, reaching your arms overhead. Maybe pointing your toes. And then bend your knees. Take your arms out to the side, big stretch out to the side. And then inhale them up and wrap your arms around your body, giving yourself a big hug. Little appreciation for showing up today, for taking this online class, because you deserve it. And then release your arms and roll over onto your right side, giving yourself one last moment. Summer solstice blessing. As the sun spirals its longest dance, cleanse us. As nature shows bounty and fertility, bless us. Let all things live with loving intent and to fulfill their truest destiny. And slowly work your way up to a comfortable seated position. And let's share another breath together by inhaling the arms up. And then exhaling all that peaceful, calming energy back into your heart to carry with you throughout the day today. Thank you for practicing, everyone. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. I hope to see you at the studio. If not, on the next tape. I hope you're doing well. I miss you all. Bye-bye.